This is one of the easiest types of sessions to sell, and there is a never-ending supply of clients in your area. My name is Mark Bailey. I own a photography studio that I've had for over 15 years. If you're interested in the business, the marketing and the sales side of photography, then give us a subscribe, because at the moment we're going through 15 different types of sessions that you can advertise to and bring clients into your studio this week. Today's video is about maternity sessions. Now, a lot of photographers get scared and worried about, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. It's easier to pose a child, or it's easier to pose animals and pets and product photography and things like that. A lot of people find that when you're posing adults, it can be a lot more difficult. However, they do find, say, with wedding photography or something like that, and there's not much of a difference apart from, when it comes to the posing, I should say, you're just in a different setting. It's a one-on-one rather than a big group setting you would see in a wedding. So maternity sessions, first of all, we never used to do them. We were scared of doing them. How do you pose them and what do you say? And are people really going to want to have bump pictures, and are they going to spend as big? Now, there's things that I'll go through towards the end of this video which help get the sale a lot higher. We can get £1,500 plus sales from a maternity session, which, if you go back a few years, I would never have thought that was possible. We would print at most, and maybe we would get some digitals, but people wouldn't spend the money on big pieces of wall art of maternity pictures. But I'll go through how we change that, and you can do the exact same thing as well. So maternity, the first thing is, it's one of the easiest types of sessions to shoot once you know what you're going to shoot. Now, I will do a separate video on posing for maternity sessions, but ultimately you're not after hundreds and hundreds of pictures. Your subject is old enough to take instruction. They will turn to the left, the right, they will pose for you, as opposed to, say, if you're doing a cake smash and the baby will do what they want to do, and you've really got to work to get those poses. One thing you can do is bring their partner into the shoot, and it makes it so much easier. Again, this is why I say, if you've done a wedding or thinking about doing a wedding, well, you've got to pose couples all the way through that type of shoot, where if you can then just bring that into the studio for maternity, you can actually borrow a lot of your poses that you already do in the weddings and bring that to your maternity session. Now, first thing is, I suppose, what age, or not what age, but at what stage of the pregnancy should they come in for a session? Now, for me, I would always say around about 32 weeks is a good stage. You don't want to go too close to full term, because let's say you book them in on week 39, so that the bump is really nice and prominent. But what if baby comes 8 days early? Well, then they miss your shoot. The closer you can get to 40 weeks, the bigger the better the bump will be, but you do risk that. So for us, we always tell our clients that for these reasons, we will explain what we've just said then, that around about 32 weeks is a real good stage. Now, if they have twins, you need to bring them in maybe a little bit earlier, and the bump will be very prominent anyway. But twins never go full term, and quite often can come early. So that's the first thing when you're talking to your clients. If you've got a client who's inquiring about it, one really good line that we use, and it is true, we let them know that we do a lot of newborn photography. We must have photographed over 10,000 newborn babies over the years. One thing is always the same. When clients come in, if they haven't had a maternity shoot, mum is missing bump at that stage, and they will always say the same thing. I wish I'd have got some pictures of my bump. I miss my bump. What we never get is somebody who's come in for a maternity shoot who then comes back for the newborn session, who will then say to us, do you know what, I wish I'd never got my bump pictures. We never ever hear that. So my advice for everybody is get a maternity shoot, because once baby's here, you're not getting that bump back ever. So or with that baby, I should say. So it's a real big emotional pull, and that line of us saying, do you know what, we have parents that come back for the newborn session, and 9 times out of 10, if they haven't had a bump shoot, they will say, I really wish I'd had a bump shoot, I miss my bump. Those who do have a maternity shoot and come back. I've never heard a single one saying, I wish I didn't get my bump pictures. They're all glad that they did it. So if you're thinking about it, I definitely recommend it. Whether it's us or someone else, make sure you definitely get some maternity pictures. Using that little extra bit there, saying to them, whether it's us or somebody else, it kind of connects with your client, because what they hear there is that this person isn't just trying to get the booking. They're agreeing with that this is important and that you should be getting these. And you get that line right, they'll connect with you, they'll book in with you rather than somebody else who's going, do you want to book in? Should we book in now? That can really help. So I mentioned about the nervousness when they come in. They're not going to know what to expect. They will see stuff online, and a lot of them can be kind of almost nude pictures, things covered and stuff like that, but that could be really scary to a new mum to be. It doesn't need to be like that. If you're thinking of doing boudoir photography, one of my big advice tips on that is don't make it sleazy, make it classy, and you can then bring that into the maternity as well. And so if you can get some dresses, you can find these online. There are some companies which charge hundreds of pounds for dresses, and then there's others where they're a lot cheaper. What we tend to do is we will have one or two really big signature dresses, we call them, and then we'll have some other ones which are a lot more subtle. And if you're thinking about sizing, you just get the biggest size, because then you can clip the dress the side where the camera is and pointing, so that it looks as though it's more fitted. So first of all, you got to put your mum to be at ease. Let them know that there's nothing exposed, there's nothing nude or anything like that, unless they want to get to that stage. But for us, we're really going to focus on bump. If partner can come along, we will get some shots. We'll let them know that this is really important, that we get the two of them together with bump, because this is one of the last times that we'll be able to photograph them where it's just them two as a couple in love, without baby being there and things like that. Their whole life is about to change for the better. So let's capture this now while we can. And again, it'll give mum confidence if her partner's there with her. On top of that, you've got to be confident when you're talking to your client about this session, and that you're going to really look after them. They will borrow from your confidence, so be as confident as you can when you're talking about it. When they come in, we need to make it an experience for them as well. So I go on about the experience all the time, and I've got other videos which it's worth going back and watching about how important the experience is. Get the experience right, and the value of your pictures goes right the way up. So when I'm talking about experience here, let's have music playing. Let's get some smellies on, whether it's some smelly candles, or if you've got incense or whatever it might be. We have a nice little atomizer that we got off Amazon. It wasn't very expensive, and we put oil in there, and it really makes a big difference. Definitely recommend that. So and the idea as well, is make sure that your studio area is clean and it's clutter free. It can't be just stuff pushed to the side. Make sure this area is clean. Get it so that when they come in, it's almost an advertisement for them to go, I want to bring my newborn baby back here as well, because that's going to really help with what we'll do at the end of this video to get the nice big sale. If they come in and they get the bump pictures and they're looking around and there's just a bit of clutter here and stuff, or maybe just a little bit of dirt over there, they will be thinking further down the line about bringing the newborn to you, and they can make their decision. And I've seen it in my studio where the photographer hasn't got it clean enough. It's clean enough for this shoot, but actually it wasn't clean enough for a newborn, and we didn't get the client to come back for the newborn session. And it's a very easy fix as well. Make sure your toilets are clean as well. On my very first training course I ever had, I remember the photographer talking to me about everything, and big bit of advice he gave me was, it doesn't matter about any of this, make sure your toilets are clean. If you will get judged on your toilets. If everything is great but the toilets are dirty, that's it, game over. And that guy was completely right. I believe in that a lot. So we've got to make sure we got the experience right. We've got to make sure that you ease their nerves. You want partner to come along, and you want to get some couple shots, definitely. Hands on bumps and things, and I'll go through a video showing you one of our newborn shoots from the raw files up to what we show them edited as well. And you can see how very easy and quick these types of sessions are. One of the things that we'll do is, in our studio, we have 2 deposits. For newborn photography, we book out 3 hours. So I charge a £45 fully refundable deposit at time of booking. and that secures that those 3 hours are not gone to waste. If it's any other type of session, it's a 1 hour session, and so that would be a £25 deposit. Again, the idea is to make sure that that doesn't go to waste. Now, you may just have one deposit, that's completely fine. I advise that, in all honesty, and I think we probably will change to just the one. Now, with maternity, we do charge a £45 deposit, and this just prevents any sort of questions or anything further down the line. If the client pays £25 deposit just for the maternity booking, and then when they want to book in for the newborn, it's now 45, odd client, that can just be a case of, well, wait a minute, why is it now 45 when it was 25 less? So what we tend to do is keep it the same price, and it just eliminates that. That's pretty much everything really with maternity. It's so simple and easy. One of the reasons that I say that you should really focus on this is if you are thinking of doing newborn photography, you can get to your target market. It'll double your market, because obviously you're going to advertise towards the newborns that are already here or coming in the next week or so. But now that might be X amount of clients that are out there. But now you can double that, because you can do the maternity side of things. And so that will give you another boost. Now, when they're then getting to the stage of the sales side of it, it's up to you what you do here. We did have ups and downs when it came to the sales. It was very difficult for us to get people to go for wall art of their bump photography. I'm not saying it's impossible, but majority of our clients didn't want to have a nice big piece of wall art behind them of them with their bump out. And especially if they did get comfortable in the session and go, actually, can we get some of the more naked style type shots, and we'd have them covered up and stuff, with hands or whatever, and just the form and everything. But they just didn't want to have it nice and big. The occasional one would. Majority of them, I just don't think I would have this on the wall, so I'm going to go for something smaller. Now, with our newborn photography, it's complete opposite way round. Most people will go for a big 5-frame collection with us or something similar. And so for us, we looked at it going, right, well, the maternity session is only a 40-minute session for us. We'll book an hour out so that we're not rushed, but it's a 40-minute session for us. It's very nice and easy. Now, we looked at it going, what would we do extra on a newborn shoot if it guaranteed us a nice big sale? Would we do an extra top-up shoot or something like that? Now, the answer would be yes. We have somebody who comes in, they do a newborn shoot during the week, and they come back to the design and they're looking at it and they go, I quite like the £1,500 option. However, my other child wasn't present, and I think if he or she were, we'd go for that. Well, I have an answer for that objection, and that would be a case of, no problem, what we'll do, if you want to go for that package, we can do a small little 1 hour top-up shoot, and we'll get some extra pictures of the whole 4 of you or 5 of you or whatever together, and then you've got that, and there won't be any extra charge for you for that. So essentially, you're going to get your newborn shoot at this price, and you get something else extra that nobody else gets. And that kills that objection dead, and 9 times out of 10 they go for it. If they don't, then that was only ever a smoke screen and you were never going to go for it. So we decided, right, well, if we're willing to do that after the session, well then let's do a maternity one before the session. So when they come back for the maternity design and we're going through all the bump pictures with them, we will say, so here are your options, and we'll do our big sales process, and we'll say, now if you want to go for one of the top 2 packages, it will also include all the digitals from your newborn session as well. Now, at that point for the client, they're cash rich. They're still on full pay, so they're not maternity pay yet or anything like that. They've got savings probably, and there'll be a part of them where they'll be thinking, well, it's best for me to do it now, and I know I've definitely got all my newborn pictures, and I don't need to pay anything then when my maternity pay starts to kick in. So that's something I'll definitely do. It makes it so much easier, and our maternity average then went right through the roof. It was actually higher on maternity than what it is on the newborns. So that really made a big difference for us. Now, you may then start to think, well, what about the newborn side then? Because then I'm going to do a newborn and I'm not going to get paid for it. And you have, it's just been earlier on. It's almost like a prepaid session. Now, one of the things to then try and do for us is that whatever package they go for, let's say they go for a package with a frame, we'll then not push them, but we'll encourage them to use whatever wall art is included at the bump stage. Let's get it on the wall now. We'll get this ready for you. But If we can do that, then when they come back to the newborn, all they've got is the digital side of things. And so there's still the opportunity for us to try and make a sale on some additional wall art, say for the nursery, or maybe in the living room, the dining room, or wherever it might be. And we'll have other options out there as well. You go for this and you get this for free. The idea is to encourage them to get multiple sales throughout. And children's photography is really good. And if you think about it, with what we've gone through so far, you potentially could have a client. We do have these where they will come in for a maternity session. They will then come in for a newborn session. They'll then come back maybe for a sitter session or something like that. And if not, they'll come back for a cake smash session. Now, it doesn't stop there. There's still additional shoots that we can do, which we'll go through in the series at a later time. But maternity sessions, they're very easy to do. There is a never-ending supply of clients out there, which is really good. And it's a very lucrative part of our business again. I hope this has been useful for you, and I hope you're finding this mini-series good. Give us a like and subscribe. Tomorrow I'm going to go through a different type of one. I'm going to go through pet photography. Real good fun, tons of pets out there, and gets you a different market again altogether. Right now we've been very heavily focused on children. This now is a different type, and again it can really help bring in additional sessions for you. You don't need many to make a big difference financially. Right, have a great day guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.